Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are going to be. It's a paint stream. Like if you're new here or watching this on the replay, it's a paint. It's a hangout. We just hang out. We paint miniatures. We chat about whatever comes up. I suppose I should put the microphone in a place where it might actually pick up my voice. I'm having a day apparently. But overall, anyways, we're here. Let's do this thing. So, hey nerds, how are you this morning? Afternoon or whatever it is. It's a thing. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna get into it. I don't have a whole lot to chit chat about. So we're gonna get to the camera. Anyways, I'm a little late today because I had I had an idea for a video, so I had to get the video done. Only like 10 minutes. But basically it's another review of the little storage things I got behind me. Anyways, I'm very happy about that. I did look at the Angry Marines Goths, and that is something. we'll put it that way. That seems like it came out of the early 2000s. Just gonna say. AVP miniature. When did they do Aliens versus Predator miniatures? I don't remember those. I've got, or I don't have, but I've been wanting to get the Aliens board game, Another Glorious Day in the Core, partly because I know the guy that designed it. I like supporting friends. All right, this is like actually annoying. I literally could not get any paint to take back there. Like, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think you can really see it, but dear Lord, it was out of paint. Okay, so yeah, that's that was a while ago. For the AVP from Protoss, I mean, I'm not even sure. Is Protoss even around? I don't think Protoss is even around anymore. They burned a lot of bridges. I think they had the Mutant Chronicles license previously. Do I not have any? Oh, I am bad at this. Excuse me, folks. I hate doing this, but I'll be right back. I am seriously having a day. I mean, and it's not even a bad day. It's just it is an ADHD day.
Um, I didn't get any paper towels for cleaning off my brushes. I didn't like I was about to go live and I realized so I've got the cutting mat. Like this is actually another layer. It's just like a desk protector that we used to have on our kids' desks that we had in their rooms. And mostly because I want to keep the cutting mat, more or less clean. Oh, dang it. Apparently I can't even today. I am familiar with popsicles or popsicles. I don't know, however you're supposed to say it. I got a bunch of good, he's the best I've been able to find for Shadowrun miniatures. There's some good cyberpunk stuff out there, but a lot of it is no, you're fine, dear. So real quick to explain what I'm doing, I thought I was going to be conservative and just kind of, it's like, oh, I don't need to put the Wraithbone layer down on the whole thing because I'll just come in with the burgundy for the chitin plates. And then I remembered some of these guys where, so I had the Wraithbone across the whole thing, but keeping that burgundy a little thinner, I really, really like how that comes out. So I just remembered that I have to paint the whole thing Wraithbone. So here we are. But yeah, Popsicles does good work. However you're supposed to say that name. Luckily with this guy, I've got big regions to come in and paint up, so I can just use a nice fat brush and not worry about it. Anyhow, but overall, good weekend. Got to play a couple of board games with a friend of mine and his two sons. And Kim, of course. I hung out with Max during RPG Digest yesterday, over on the Legion of Myth channel. That was a lot of fun. I had a great afternoon doing that. And Max seemed appreciative to have a co-host. Since Heathen Dog was out for the last couple weeks. Of course, the downside is then we had family dinner, and it was the weekend with the kids coming over, which it's kind of funny. So we have one daughter-in-law. Effectively, we have two. It's just not official yet, and they're not engaged or married or anything. But like months ago, I told my son, I'm like, hey, any weekend where we have your older brother and his wife and the grandson over for dinner, you know, your girlfriend's invited. It's a standing invite. You know, if she's working, that's fine. We're not upset. You know, she doesn't have to rearrange her schedule to do it. But if she would like to come, standing invite. Literally told him this months ago. So he messages the family group yesterday. He was like, "Hey, is it okay if she comes to dinner today?" It's like, of course. You know, I told you that was fine. He's like, "Okay, well, good, because she's coming." Well, she gets over, and I'm just like, "Hey, just, you know, in case he didn't tell you, this is a standing invite. I told him months ago that we could do this." She's like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna rearrange my schedule and blah 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 blah." And she's like, "But he only told me Tuesday." It's like, bruh, come on. Anyway, so it was pretty funny, but because I'd worked that night and, you know, did a 4+ hour stream with Max, I was exhausted. So instead of having dinner with the family, I fell asleep so that I could work last night. It was a thing, I will say that, but still good. I like my family. Even as dumb as they can be sometimes. But then I did get to see grandson today because he comes over on Mondays. That was another reason I started a little late, because he was still here, but my son came to pick him up. Anyways, if you couldn't tell, I kind of like my family. Don't claim to be the best dad or grandpa. Trying to be better. It was very difficult when the baby can't really do anything. And then he just gets mad when you're not doing what he wants to do. It's like, bruh, I don't know what you want to do. Then the ADHD kicks in. It's like, okay, that's not being a good grandpa. Rather frustrating. Wouldn't sell the baby to Simon. No, we like the little guy. He's fun. He's getting big. Holy crap. Grandpa needs to do more exercise. Let's just put it that way. Because Grandpa is going to be... This kid is going to run circles around Grandpa. That's the understatement. What do you mean we have to book another cruise?
If we want to go to Australia, we have to book it by February of 2026, or they're not going to be able to go.
Why?
They're canceling. They're not going to do Australia anymore.
What? So 2026 is the last year for Australia?
February 2026. After February, it's done. Yeah. So the last sailings are October of this year through February of next. That's it. That's all we get.
Oh, probably because they want to push everybody onto the adventure.
We're spending more money.
My wife is expensive, everyone.
You know, Disney. I just love the ride.
So I am not having any more kids, Goth.
We should, but it might be retarded.
Mathematically, yes, we could. Mathematically. You are completely right. However, I came to the realization a few years ago, basically when my kids kind of got to a certain age, because like all of my kids are graduated high school. So while we still have two at home, you know, technically I can kick them out at any time. You know, make them fend for themselves. I won't, because I'm a sucker, but I can. That and my wife would kill me. Anyways, so, but I came to the realization that at this point, it's not having more kids. It's starting a new family. Because, like, even though any kids would be literal brothers and sisters to my kids, not half brothers or anything, just like full brothers and sisters, the age gap is so large that, and there's no continuity. So it's not like, you know, the oldest is in his 20s and we just kept having kids the whole time. You know, we stopped having kids 20 years ago. So, you know, like those kids would not relate to each other at all. And I don't want to do that. So Yeah, at this stage of life, it's all about the grandbabies. Give me all the grandbabies. I don't care if you have 100 grandbabies. You can have all the grandbabies. I will do my ADHD best to help with said grandbabies. You know, so again, take that for what you will. But there we go. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, see, Tommy, perfect. You've got a 12-year-old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, and a newborn. You're within, like, okay, 5 years is kind of a big gap, in my opinion. No, but my sister is only 3 years older than me. Right. Tommy has, like, 5-year gap between everyone. No, again, I'm just saying that's personal preference. But that's still within the range. Yes, I am pawning the declining birth rate onto my children. Exactly. But Tommy's also making up for it. I mean, he's got 5. We only did 3.
That was not my fault.
I didn't blame you.
I would gladly have. But I gave him hit first grade and went. Well, Lord. That thought got total plus.
Anyways, I think 3 is good. It's more than replacement rate.
More than the average.
You know,
It's twice the average. Isn't the average like 1.5?
it's like 1.7, I think, is the current average. But that's the thing. Replacement is at least 2. One to replace you, one to replace your spouse. So we did 3, so we did better than just straight replacement rate.
Yeah, so if we're gonna go to Australia, we did Disney cruise.
I don't know either. That's very strange. Yeah, no, dude. Everybody's different. Everybody's got, their opinion on what the birth rate should be, etc. Whatever. And then at the end of the day, have more kids.
So make it make sense. There's gonna be another Doug or something.
That's true. I do think there are also some extreme situations, like, the Duggar family. It's like, why do you have 8,000 children? All right, so let's see if I can recreate this. So I've got to go with some thinner. Burgundy to let the Wraithbone kind of peek through. There is a delay. The actual audience, I don't know exactly what the audience delay is, but it's at least like 10 seconds, maybe up to 30 seconds.
Oh, is that added out curse word?
If you need to. Well, regardless, Tommy, I'm happy for you. More kids is always great.
Yeah, it's not palatable to me either. Just stay inside.
Yeah, that honestly, Goss, that's one of my favorite things. I'm not quite 50. And so all my kids are grown, starting to have grandkids. You know, I can still go do stuff with them. You know, theoretically, you know, I'll be in my 60s or 70s when my grandkids start to get married off. So again, I can still be around and do stuff. I'm excited. They may be turds, but they're my turds. All right, so and for the record, folks, we'll see how much we can get done. I do have a stream over with Bear today, playing Heroic. If by how far I am away from retirement, if you mean by like the official US like Social Security retirement, I've literally got like 20 years. I ain't retiring anytime soon. Also partly because, let's be honest, I keep spending my money on Warhammer. I'd probably be loaded if I was, you know, more fiscally responsible. So but would what be fun, Tommy? Yeah, I don't really want to retire. I am absolutely terrified of getting laid off. Oh, being loaded. No, I don't think it would be as fun. But yeah, I am terrified of getting laid off, especially because of age. I do not want to have to go look for a job. I don't know. I don't know if they'd let me keep doing this for many years, but I've never gotten into management. Sadly, in my case, they haven't even really had any openings for any job growth or promotion or whatnot. And they finally did something based on my recommendation, and I didn't get picked for it. So literally, I'm just at the point of, I would like to keep my head down and just stay employed. the wife works in accounts payable, and people really like her, so if something happened, she could move easily. Let's just say that one reason I am working on YouTube is just to, like, I don't want to be rich off of it, but if I could make a decent supplemental income, I would appreciate it. Welcome, Silver Scratch. Let's see, what issue am I on? So that is a slightly complicated question. I've received shipment number 6, which is where you get the last 2 pieces. You get this guy, and you get the chaplain on a bike, and then you also get the Eldar Farseer. So that's where you start moving into the other combat patrols. And that was 19 to 22, but I am definitely behind. I was out of town a bunch. I was not doing my paint streams very regularly, so I'm probably in like the 10 or 12s, because what I'm also doing, sorry, I'm explaining it all again. If you've been here and heard all of this, I do apologize, but just in case there's anyone new out there who hasn't heard the story, I am doing what we have affectionately dubbed painting these raw, or rules as written, because I am following the combat patrol instructions. So I think I've got like 10 pages of painting instructions that I still have to work through. But they're coming along. Actually, that was kind of funny, because the first Eldar magazine came out, and they still had instructions for Tyranids. So clearly the painting doesn't necessarily get finished in the magazines for those particular units. So something to think about. Goths, I do IT work. It's kind of weird because it's technically just customer service. But it's advanced customer service in a department that they have not been able to successfully outsource, to put it simply. So they probably hit a point where they could do so. But they haven't. So for now, my role is relatively secure. You are not quite dry, so we're going to put you back to the side. Oh, cool. Yeah, I am not a professional miniature painter. There's a reason that I call this amateur painting time. I don't normally use Citadel color. Well, my current go-to is Monument Hobbies. I like their paints. I like their bottles. So that's my go-to, but because I am painting these raw, I thought it would be interesting to, because I've done Warhammer and related stuff for 27 years now. But I don't do painting classes. I'm bad at following tutorials. I've just kind of always done my thing. But since I started the YouTube channel, I've had people tell me that they've seen my work improve. And so that's, so I kind of wanted to see if I followed the Games Workshop instructions, would it change my paint style? Would it change, would I necessarily learn any new techniques? Would I just get better at, quote unquote, following instructions? I don't know. I just, for the channel, I just thought it would be an interesting experiment. And so that's why, like, I'm not really coming up with my own paint schemes. I'm not trying to be fancy. Because also, like, a lot of the people that paint online are really good. They are fantastically good. And I think that can be really intimidating for a lot of people that are just getting into the hobby. Or they've been in the hobby forever, but they've been terrified to put brush to model. So while people tell me they like the end result, and I'm appreciative and I'm grateful for it, I know I'm not a pro. But commission painting is not something I think I'd be very good at it, mostly because of getting the project done. So anyways, so basically I just wanted to be the average guy out there. I don't have to paint well, but hopefully people are entertained enough to come and hang out. I'll pass on whatever tricks or answer any questions that people have. Had a good conversation a week or two ago. Somebody else knew, and they were just kind of asking. They're like, like, the guy started with Titans. That's fine. That's your call. But those are showpiece models, and so they're going to be a lot more intimidating to do. He's like, yeah, but I don't know where to start. And we were able to just suggest to him, hey, Grim. We were able to just suggest to him, hey, go, like, buy some dollar store army men. Nothing fancy, just the models that you literally don't care about. And go paint those. get your basics down, and then go paint your Titans. Anyways, but yeah, I do agree. I like seeing what other people are doing. Yeah, sometimes just to get the inspiration as far as what am I going to do or what am I going to try next, things like that. So I get that. What's up, Mundo? Yeah, I haven't really gone for a really large model yet. And yeah, Seraphis, it's a viable strategy, and you know it. Because, I mean, even a basic Space Marine is still going to run you about $7. But that pack of 20 army men at the dollar store, who cares? Paint it, let the dog eat it, and you're still not really out anything, you know? 3D printed isn't a bad option. But then you have all of the costs and everything associated with, getting 3D models. Because if you're just buying 3D printed models, like off of Etsy or something, you're still going to pay about $4 or $5 a piece. But if you're going to print it yourself, well, you've got a couple $100 for the printer and, $50 for the material. And, so there's a lot of costs. And this guy, wasn't even a gamer. He just he reads the 40K novels, and so he bought the Titans as bookends. So he just wanted to have a nice little display piece. That's true, Tommy. I'm just trying to say that like the $2 bag of army men, it doesn't matter what happens to it. It's a $2 bag of army men. And I gotta say, I'm really liking this thin burgundy over top of Wraithbone. I really like the way that this look is coming out. And that was an accident, because I tend to use my paints thicker, which I know annoys a lot of people. Thin your paints! But if I'm painting a color there, it's because I want the color there, so I would like the coverage. And Mundo, that's fine. I'm just saying, if you want a super cheap alternative to learn how to paint, try out some plastic army men before you go with full gaming models. We do like a thick paint around here, Seraphis. We do like a thick paint. But I'm just saying, I also like how this thinned out burgundy works. Yeah, go to the GW store for lessons. Absolutely is a good idea. But then you have to use GW paints. And GW paint pots suck. There's a reason that even though I'm using GW paints, I've moved them all into dropper bottles. And yes, I know I'm being a little sloppy with these guys. But I still have to go through and do a lot of cleanup. So I'm not worried about it. But I am getting to the point where the ADHD is, why is this project not finished yet? And then I also started working on my sisters for Armies on Parade. I want to do that. I want to get entered into that. It would be great to have a full sisters army done for that. Especially because it's a color scheme you don't normally associate with sisters. Nice. Yeah, I haven't decided what I want to do for a display. I've got access to some options. But I don't know if the Warhammer store will allow me to use 3D printed options for a display board. Obviously, they don't want you to do that for the models. I went on thick. But I would think the display board should be fine. All right. The Battle Sanctum? What is the Battle Sanctum? Was that from Raging Heroes? Or Heroes Infinite or whatever it's called? All right. The terrain piece they could use in 9th edition. Okay. Yeah, my only problem with that, Mundo, is if that's like an official thing that they made, I wouldn't use that. Because again, this is to actually enter at Armies on Parade at the Warhammer store. But if they like, I know I have access to the Heroes Infinite files. And so, like, the modular terrain that they did for the sisters, I could probably get away with that. I just need to print it, you know. Which, that's another project that I've got to work on. I printed a Rattler for BattleTech, which is absolutely massive, and now I've actually committed to printing a second one. Got it. Okay, thanks, Silvers. I mean, it's annoying. I get it. But, like, terrain and display boards, they should cut some slack on. Just saying. know they won't, but just saying. If you don't mind me asking, Silvers, what are you painting up for Armies on Parade? Because, like, for me, I'm trying to focus on, like, I need to get these combat patrols done. And I am super, super behind. But I want to do the sisters for Armies on Parade. Just because I think that's a little more inspiring, as it were. I've got to figure out time to block those in too. I should paint more during work. Which is super awesome that I can actually do that. Since I'm actually like... Because like sometimes, you know, if I'm helping a customer... A lot of times it's like, okay, I just need to walk them through how to do this. And then my favorite is when they want to just like hijack you and keep you on the phone while they try to figure something out. Well, Mundo, I'm the originator of the design. It originated on my 3D printer. So I originated it. No, but like, just like some hills and some rocks and stuff like that. Should just... You know, nothing that like looks like it would have been made by Games Workshop. I think should be fine if it's 3D printed. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, nerds. Like, okay, I get that they're corporate, but like, they've made some really dumb calls lately. So, like, the local shop that I go to, like, they had like some literal art pieces. Not even like, you know, it was like some wood and somebody had painted, like turned it into like an orc symbol or something. And they just had like little things up on the wall to kind of spruce the place up. And they like corporate came down and said, nope, you gotta, you know, take all that stuff down. You can't use that anymore. And it's like, that's stupid. And so I completely like disagree with that call. And Mundo, I would say it's not that GW is not evolving with the hobby side of the game. I actually think they're regressing. Mostly because if you look at it, like when was the last time you saw an article about scratch building terrain or converting models? They don't want you to convert models. Just like build the model kit that they gave you. They don't want you scratch building terrain. Just build the terrain that they provide for you. It's and I think that's a huge disservice to the hobby itself. For Games Workshop, the hobby has really boiled down to just, here is our stuff, paint it. And that's a little sad because, some of that old hobby stuff was just great. But they don't want to support it anymore. So, that's really frustrating. And Silvers, that's a fun little army anyways. Terminator Captain, Terminator Librarian, 30 Infernus Marines, 3 Aggressors with Flame Gauntlets, and a 5-man Terminator squad. I like it. Dang it, I don't remember. But essentially it was like those were the basis for VDR, vehicle design rules. Man, that was a long time ago. I'm feeling super old. Thanks for that, Tommy. Appreciate it, buddy. That's... No, you know what happened to it? Third-party kits. Because... notice if they don't make a kit for it, they don't have rules for it. like at all. So yeah, like at least as far back as like the Chapter House lawsuit. Yeah, that was, well, they were still good up to like 7th edition. But like I said, it was I would actually lay it all at the feet of the Chapter House studio, or the Chapter House lawsuit, where they went after the guys that were, you know, making the resin cast, you know, conversion bits that Chapter House actually won like 90%. Maybe not that high. Like there was some stuff they got busted for infringing copyright. But Games Workshop lost a lot. Like they tried to copyright Space Marine. Yeah, they tried to claim all sorts of stuff, and it's just like, nope. And anyways, but yeah, so that's when they kind of switched to, yeah, if we don't make a kit for it, we're not going to make rules for it. You know, and then just killed the hobby side. No, the hobby is build our kits and paint our models. You know, don't experiment, don't have fun, don't convert. Build our kit and paint our models. Which I say which I'm complaining about as I'm sitting here and I built their kit and I'm painting their models. And I'm painting them according to their instructions. Yes, I understand irony. I don't know. I think it's a little different since I acknowledge that I can do things differently, that I can try different things. There's different ways to paint things. I love looking for, you know, proxy models. You know, this thing counts as that. Yeah, and that's what I mean, nerds. It's like, you know, no, you will buy the kit that we have designed. You will paint it in the way that we have designated. Because don't forget, in Horus Heresy, the legions are fixed. It's not until 40K where you can have successor chapters. They need their own heraldry and their own, paint schemes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not jumping on the Horus Heresy bandwagon. I mean, heck, I'm trying to keep the existing 40K stuff I have to the combat patrols. Mostly because I like smaller games. And so that's one reason that I did the Combat Patrol magazine, was just because it's going to let me experiment and try a bunch of different styles. Over a couple of years. Wow, I've gone over an hour. This I actually think is kind of funny. There's a little Space Marine armor right there. I want to get a little more burgundy on this guy. All right, last little bit is to get this arm. just a little bit of the ultramarine or Macragge blue. Anyways, it's also kind of interesting. I was thinking about it on Saturday when I was up at the Warhammer store. Because I wanted to get the Captain Sentos model. Which, okay, I actually have a funny story about that. But I was kind of thinking, and I've had this thought for a while now, but that painting models is actually more like paint by number. Yes, it's artistic, but at the end of the day, like, I don't have to decide, oh, here is a tentacle. The tentacle is there. The real question is, what color am I going to paint the tentacle? So, at the end of the day, it kind of just turns into paint by numbers. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of funny. But anyways, all right. So that's this page done. But based on time, I'm not ready to jump on to the next page because that's a lot more color. I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I'm not really ready for. So I'm gonna pause there. And we're gonna come back to that. So let's. All right, I'm trying to be better about this. I don't put it down, I put it away. So I don't need this page. So let's put it away. And then I'll just show off a couple of things that I think are kind of cool. So I went to the Warhammer store and I got Captain Sentos, which is funny because, like, the tech support I do, we support servers, and a very popular one is called CentOS, which actually is in the process of going away. But anyways, so every time I hear that, I keep thinking of that. I can't decide if I want to build and paint this. I mean, I kind of should, but I'm also not sure if I'm not sure if I want to. Do I save it, try and sell it off later? I don't know. We'll see. But I am kind of tempted to do this guy up. So, anyways, yes, CentOS Linux or Linux CentOS, whatever, is now a space word. So I got that. But so here's the funny thing: I went to get this, and I, for some dumb reason, if I can figure out where I put it, I like collecting the Games Workshop coins. When we went to England a couple of years ago, I got this one at Warhammer World, which is Honor Thy Emperor, Honor Thy Chapter, 1 Imperial credit. Anyways, So that was the first one I got, and I just kind of sat on it. And then when my son wanted to get into this, then I started buying stuff, and so I've been collecting more coins. Anyways, so I wanted the coin, and this was the coin from this last Saturday. It's Captain Centos in coin format. Special 200 stores back on the coin. Anyways, so I was going to get enough stuff that I could get the coin. Anyways, I ended up chatting with the guy behind me in line, and he came in apparently just to buy a bottle of paint, but then he decided that he was going to get Fulgrim, which is $170. And then he decided that he was going to get Captain Centos. And so he was over $200. And he's like, yeah, I don't care about the coins. I don't care about the other stuff. I'm probably not even going to do anything with Captain Centos. I just, oh, by the way, again, don't put it down, put it away. See, I'm going to take my tray of Tyranids, and we're going to put them away. Anyways, they had a thing where it's like, if you spent $300, you could get this dice box tray thing. Anyways, I don't know why I decided to, but I'm like, hey, we could combine forces. He's like, I don't even want the thing. I'm like, that's fine. I'd kind of like it. Anyways, so basically we put our purchases together. He didn't even care. He's just like, go take it. And so I got the dice tray box thing. It's wood, it's magnetized, so it'll stay closed. Got some decent magnets on it. It is a little frustrating because, like, okay, so I can put dice here and they would stay, but I think they would end up like rattling out and just kind of making a mess. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but now I need to find some more of these, because when they did the anniversary, they had these steel dice, and these things could hurt you, Anyways, so now I wish I had more of these to go in my box, but I don't. Anyways, so see, so I take that. Oh, they stayed. Maybe this is better than I was expecting. I am intrigued now. Anyways, so I was kind of excited. I got to. I wasn't gonna spend $300, especially not for this, but the fact that random guy who I've seen in the store a couple of times, but I don't know him. But the fact that, and he ran it on his card. Luckily I had Venmo and just, paid him right there. So didn't have to worry about it. But the fact that he was willing to do it. And so, see, there they go. Now that time they rattled out. Anyways, so if you know anyone who wants to get rid of some of these Warhammer dice, let me know. I don't know if I'd pay much for them, but we'll see. So there's that. All right, I have got to go. I've had a lot of fun. Good chat with everyone. Thank you so much. I always do appreciate you all keeping me company while I do this. And I am making progress. So we're getting there. Let's see. All right. Wednesday, we've got My Little Pony coming up, which is probably going to be the last episode. Maybe one extra. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But once we finish that, then I'm going to be doing MechWarrior 1st Edition with Max Liao from Legion of Myth. Super excited about that collaboration. But I am going to be trying to get more videos, more stuff coming out. Not necessarily every day, but just a little bit more regularly. I do need to do some more ADHD builds shorts because I have the models to do them. I just haven't done them yet. So if you've been missing those, they will come back. I can't just keep buying models to build those. But if you want me to build some models for you, maybe we can talk. Anyways, I'm a mess. I'll stop now. But folks, thanks so much for hanging out. Come back next time. Friday should be doing another paint stream as well. Keep this all going. And I'll probably even show off some progress on my sisters, because there will be progress on the sisters by then. So everybody, go have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me. And hit the like button, subscribe button, all that fun YouTube-y stuff. And we will talk to you next time. Thanks, everybody.